From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a major day here on Afternoons LALATE as the markets try to find their feet and we try to find some stimulus. And I'm trying to find some galoshes. There's been way too much rain here in Southern California. In today's recording, we'll go over these 2023 stimulus checks, biggest year for stimulus ever. Why? Because it's a combination of 3 years of stimulus checks. And in this recording, we're going to go over these great stimulus checks for you. And if anyone who makes less than $75,000 is watching today, stay over this 1 hour broadcast because we have massive stimulus checks for you. Low income, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, veterans, low income stimulus checks in today's recording. 18 months of stimulus checks, 5 checks per month, $3,000 a month on average. Stimulus checks A to C, E to K, L to Q, heat up this broadcast, plus the brand new stimulus check R, unemployment stimulus checks, and PEBT stimulus check. Go under this video, become a member, and get ready for that incredible newsletter and all those incredible stimulus checks. This week started with the PMI manufacturing report yesterday that missed, but today we got another manufacturing report and it was interesting. The JOLTS report was released for jobs minutes ago. And guess what was also released minutes ago? The Federal Reserve's minutes from our last FOMC meeting. They said there was going to be some more rate hikes for some time. Then keeping up with the Kasharis. In today's recording, we'll go over what Kashari, that governor, said about interest rates, and PayPal has been red hot. We'll go over the latest details on what you need to know in this market, plus PayPal's coming in super hot. But for the shores of Santa Monica, California, it's a great afternoon, as massive stimulus is now law passed. It's a combination of 3 years of stimulus checks, 2020, 2021, and 2022 stimulus checks, all law in 2023. We're going to go over all these incredible stimulus checks in today's afternoon's broadcast. They're for you. They're in the membership newsletter, and I'm going to show you how to get them. You're going to need them because if we do have a 2-year recession, you're going to need 2 years of stimulus checks or as close as possible. And in today's recording, we're going to go over all that incredible great news that you need to know and you need to learn. It's heating up today's broadcast from the shores of Santa Monica, California. It's a brand new year, it's a brand new afternoon, and it's a brand new Fed minutes released minutes ago. The breaking news you're hearing first on Afternoons, starting right now. And wow, what a big day it really is. The Federal Reserve minutes will release, manufacturing reports release, federal stimulus check, FSCs heat up this broadcast. It's a big day with a lot of money. I'm excited you're here. We're going to go over everything you need to know in today's recording from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Good afternoon. In this broadcast, we have a lot of checks to go over. We have the checks from Joe Biden, the president's checks, the checks from Congress, and we have the latest countdown of the markets you need to know. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, let's get to the afternoon's broadcast, starting right now. In 2023, you're going to have massive stimulus checks already law starting the year. And that is why you don't have to wait for any stimulus checks. You go right and get them right now. This is a combination of 3 years of stimulus checks, and we're going to go over all those incredible stimulus checks right now. These are people who make less than $75,000 single individual. These are people who have children or don't have children, on benefits or not on benefits. We're going to go over all these incredible sums of money from the shores of Santa Monica, California, starting right now. These are 2023 stimulus checks for Americans, and these are huge sums of money, and you don't want to wait to get these incredible 2023 stimulus checks. Let's look at them right now. First, eligibility. Anyone who makes less than $75,000, this is your broadcast. We're going to go over these incredible 2023 stimulus checks for you. Anyone who's on SSI, SSDI, these are stimulus checks for you. SSA, veterans, VA, these are stimulus checks for you. Anyone who is low income, this is stimulus checks for you. This is all going off your 2022 data. 18 months of stimulus checks heat up this broadcast. 5 checks per month, $3,000 per month on average. We're going to go over these incredible stimulus checks, A to C, E to K, and L to Q in this broadcast. All law, all passed, all available for you right now. Then we'll go to unemployment stimulus late in the broadcast, PBT stimulus checks, and then stimulus check R. And then later in the broadcast, we'll go over the latest details of what we saw minutes ago as a major announcement came from the Federal Reserve. And we're going to go over what Kashari said in response to it, manufacturing numbers released today and the JOLTS numbers as well. Let's go right into those great stimulus checks for 2023, starting with those first three checks, A, B, and C. The first three checks, A, B, and C, came from Joe Biden in 2022, and they are still law. And you're going to go over all those incredible checks right now. Stimulus checks A, B, and C, what do they look like? Let's look at the details right now. Last year, Joe Biden passed a series of executive actions which established these stimulus checks, and they're huge, and they're stimulus checks A, B, and C. How much are each of these wonderful stimulus checks? Stimulus check A is a $6,500 to $12,000 stimulus check across the board. So go right in this video, join the channel Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP, and go down to stimulus check A and go get it. It is one of three checks that Joe Biden did in spring of 2022, still law. Then stimulus check B, really great, $15,000 to $80,000. Go right in this video, join the channel, and go right into that membership newsletter and get stimulus check B. Now, don't worry. I'm going to explain to you how this membership newsletter works in just a second. I'm going to go over membership with you in just a second, but let's understand what's at issue. What's at issue is that it's going to be likely a 24-month recession, if I got it right. And a 24-month recession needs as close to 24 months of stimulus checks as possible. $200 checks, $300 checks, $700 checks don't cut it. One stimulus check doesn't cut it. That's why you need all the incredible stimulus checks over this broadcast. $300,000 passed, 18 months on average paid of MSE law, and 5 checks per month paying law, $3,000 an average per month, law and paying. We're going to go over all these incredible checks one at a time in this broadcast. Stimulus check B is a great stimulus check. It really is, because that's a check that helps you get 18 months of beautiful stimulus checks. And that's what Frank Mancuso got. Let's go see what Frank got for stimulus check B. He got stimulus check B, and he got 18 months. Not just a check B, lots of different checks. He got 18 months of mortgage, 18 months of utilities, 18 months of high-speed internet. Folks, that's a lot of checks per month. That is about 6 checks per month, 18 months of 6 checks per month. He did really well, and he got this in less than 1 month of becoming a member. It pays to become a member. And that is Frank Mancuso, and that is stimulus check B. But we're just getting started. Now let's continue over to the stimulus check C, which also came from Joe Biden. You qualify for these checks. Remember, if you make $75,000 or less, get these incredible checks. Go around this video, become a member, and get that incredible newsletter as quickly as you can. It's under the video's description. We'll go over that incredible newsletter in just a second. Let's go to stimulus check C, which is for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. This is what we initially thought stimulus check C would be, but it has turned out to be a lot more money than this. In the newsletter, I tell you who to call, what to say, and how to say it. At 12 places for stimulus check C. Repeat 12 places, so don't reach out to one and call it a day. You're going to get some no's. You're also going to get some yeses. 50-50 is usually what happens. And what are the numbers? Let's look at those beautiful numbers right now. Do you want $30,000 of rent? Of course you do. Go under this video and become a member. Then go to stimulus check C and get that beautiful numbers for rent, like Elizabeth and Mary, Nancy, nearly $30,000. Utilities. Viewers were initially getting $5,000, then they went to $15,000. Now they're getting 14 months of utilities. Every week, another viewer takes it to another level. Congratulations to Lynn Glenn and all the other people. Mark's brother-in-law got $15,000 for utilities. Combinations of checks, well, that's when people get multiple different types of checks. Niece, who's at $23,000, she went to $50,000. Mark was at $32,000. He went to $50,000. Then $100,000. Then $166,000. Here's Lorraine. She was at $105,000. She went to $155,000. Dragon, triple member to all 3 channels. She has gotten $170,000 of 2023 stimulus checks for her and her family. Johnny started on Monday. By Wednesday, he had gotten $45,000. That's a fast routing time. By the end of the week, he helped his mom. He got 15 applications in, half approved, half rejected. Good job, Johnny. And that brought him $80,000. The next week, he helped mom and dad each get $50,000. And then he helped his 20 friends and neighbors get over $250,000. So these stimulus check C's, biggest check so far, is a lot of money. But we got more money for you in just a second. and it goes right now at stimulus checks E through K. So we've done the Joe Biden stimulus checks A to C. Now let's do the ones from Congress, and they are really quite incredible. Stimulus checks E to K. Congress came along, and what did they do? They passed a beautiful bill in early 2022 that established stimulus checks E through K, and let's look at those beautiful checks one at a time, starting right now. Stimulus check E is a beautiful $7,500 stimulus check. How do you get it in the membership newsletter? We'll go over that membership newsletter in just a second. Go into the video, join the channel, become a member, and get ready to get these incredible stimulus checks today applied. Stimulus check F, a $4,000 stimulus check. I love it. Then stimulus check G, a beautiful 30% off. Wow. Stimulus check H, $2,000. Love it. Stimulus check I, $8,000 stimulus check. Incredible. Stimulus check J, $8,000 stimulus check. And then stimulus check K, $14,000. This is incredible. And these are the beautiful stimulus checks from Congress, E through K. These are federal stimulus checks for SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, low income, every U.S. state. These are American stimulus checks, Americans, U.S. territories as well. These are not for states. These are for Americans. And we're going to go over more checks in just a second, but these are the checks from Congress, E through K. All right, ready for some more checks? Let's do it. Stimulus check L, a beautiful $100,000 loan industry ability. And then M is a $4,000 stimulus check. Beautiful. These are the checks that I found after Congress came along and did stimulus checks E through K. And then there's stimulus check N. Brand new computer, tablet, laptop, free internet. It's incredible. It's at stimulus check N. Go get it. And then stimulus check O is a beautiful zero down payment, zero closing costs, brand new mortgage. Wow. And then we go to the beautiful P and Q. P is a beautiful refi, 3%, and then a Q is a $8,000 stimulus check. Incredible. So far we have done A, B, and C, federal stimulus checks for Americans passed by Joe Biden in 2022. Then we did E through K, passed by Congress in 2022. Still law, these are 2023 stimulus checks. Well, what comes after that? L to Q, the ones I found you, but guess what? We got another stimulus check coming to this channel. It's stimulus check R. And stimulus check R brings us back to the very first days of LALATE on YouTube. It is a beautiful small business owner's stimulus check. Wow, incredible. So stimulus check R is the employee retention credit. And how does it work? The concept is very, very simple. It works based upon what happened during the pandemic. Let's go over the calculations with you right now. I have more about this tonight on evenings at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. If you had an employee during the pandemic in 2020, did you fire them or did you keep them on staff? Let's go over the payouts right now. First, if you had an employee in 2019 and kept them on staff in 2020, you're going to get a beautiful $4,000 stimulus check. Wow. Then in 2021, if you kept them on staff any quarter in 2021, you're going to get $7,000 per quarter. That brings you to a grand total of $26,000 if you kept an employee on staff that you had in 2019. You kept them on staff all of 2020, and 3 quarters of 2021, you're going to get $26,000 per employee. But if you had 10 employees, you're going to get $260,000. If you had 20 employees and you kept them all on staff, $520,000 of stimulus checks for 2023. Insane. It's really insane. So go right in this video down to employee retention credit. If you're a small business owner, kept all those employees on staff, I know there's a lot of you because you were my original viewers of this channel and you're still watching. Go to that tax preparer you have right now and ask about the employee retention tax credit. It's detailed at Stimulus Check R in that beautiful membership newsletter. Which now brings us to the membership newsletter. So how does this work? Go right in this video, join the channel, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. And now you don't have to wait any particular day of the week or weekend or nighttime or anything for anyone, because now you can get that incredible newsletter around the clock. So how does that newsletter work? It's at news.lalate.com/newsletter. You don't even need to write down the address. The website is in the description to the video. The website is in the top of the chat. The website is in the pinned comment. Viewers love the new second location for the newsletter because no one ever asks anymore, where is the newsletter? It's right there. It's all over this video. It's all over this video and every video ever on this channel ever again. 3 different places, description, the pinned comment, the top of the chat. You can't miss this website, news.lalate.com/newsletter. Very, very obvious website, very easy. Now, once you go there, it's a password protected website. Go into the most recent member post on YouTube from channel 1, LALATE 1, or LA2, or LA3 right now, the one right now, and grab the password from the most recent post right now and put it into that incredible newsletter. And then bring yourself to that incredible stimulus check A and start doing A, B, and C. This is why viewers love this. This is why membership is through the roof. Members are joining in record numbers to this channel on channel 1, channel 2, and channel 3 because now the membership newsletter is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all day, every day. You do not need to know your time zone anymore with this, and you don't have to worry about holidays. As soon as you become a member, you go right into that incredible membership newsletter, put the password in, and you're ready to rock and roll. Now, for 2023, we also have other stimulus checks. And those other stimulus checks are PEBT stimulus checks and unemployment stimulus checks. Millions of Americans across the board are getting paid from their states for what they endured during COVID because they were not paid enough. These are families that have discounted or free school meals. In the case of Arizona, $369 new checks are landing in the mail by debit cards. But in the case of unemployment, wow, this is very critical. So let's go over how unemployment stimulus works in 2023 and what you need to know about this beautiful unemployment stimulus checks. There are 2 steps for unemployment. Step 1, getting the claim approved. Step 2, asking for your weekly check. Very different steps. Where do you do them? First, you go to your state's Department of Unemployment. I prefer the websites, so choose the websites. If you've never done this before, set up a username and password. And then in step 1, 3 questions are asked. Question 1 is, what date were you fired as a W-2 employee? So in this example, we are assuming that you are a W-2 employee and you were fired on October 1st. So you would put in October 1st. Pretty simple, it is. 2 other questions on step 1. They're going to ask you, are you willing to work? Answer yes. Able to work? Answer yes. Done. Claim is approved. What does willing to work mean? It means you're mentally up to working. What does able to work mean? It means you are physically able to work. Pretty easy, isn't it? Claim is approved. Then you're not done. In 2020, when I did unemployment stimulus, you can't imagine how many viewers, what was his name? I think it was King Reno. I think his name was King Reno. He used to say, I got my claim approved. I don't see a check. And I said, did you do step 2? Oh, I forgot. So you got to do step 2. Step 2 is asking for the check. It's different than getting the claim approved. First, you get the claim approved, then you have to ask for the check. Now, it's not just one check. It's a lot of checks. So let's go over the details of this right now. Unemployment pays for the weeks that you are unemployed as a fired W-2 employee. So what you need to know fundamentally, very important for 2023, because I know this is going to happen to someone you know or potentially to you, is that you're going to have a job at some point as a W-2, then you're going to be fired, then you get another job at a later date as a W-2. And you're going to think, well, because I got another job, I can't get unemployment. That's not how it works. Let's use the following dates in this example. You had a job at job number 1 as a W-2 employee in September 2022. But you got fired October 1st. Pretty obvious. Okay, let's now continue the fact scenario. Then you got lucky. You started 2023 on January 1 with a brand new W-2 job. Congratulations. But you just found this channel in February 2023. You found this channel in February 2023. So you say to yourself, well, wait a second. I got a brand new job on January 1, 2023, but I was unemployed from the first job, that darn employer that fired me. I was unemployed in October and November and December, but can I get a check for the weeks I was unemployed if I later got employed by someone else? Answer, yes. So this is how it works. Unemployment pays for the weeks that you are unemployed as a fired W-2 employee, provided you have no other job. If you do get a job at a later week, it does not prevent you from getting a check in the week in which you were a fired W-2 unemployed person. So let's go over this example right now. So in this example, you got a brand new W-2 job in January 2023. but you were fired from that old job in October 1st. You had nothing for all of October, all of November, and all of December. That means you get stimulus checks for October, November, December for unemployment. So it's going to ask you to certify for weekly benefits 1 week at a time, starting with the first week and bringing it all the way up to the point in which you no longer need unemployment. There you go. Pretty fundamental and pretty important. Let's look at the Dow. The Dow's up 183 points right now, and at less than 1 percentage point. And the NASDAQ having a nice 46-point pop. Yesterday was very volatile because actually this whole week has been very volatile. We've had days where we were up and then days that we really fell back a lot. We had the last trading day of 2022 when we were down a lot. And where is the Dow right now compared to when I went on air with you minutes ago? You see the time of this broadcast when it was taped, 12:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The market's about to close in about 40 minutes here in Los Angeles. Let's look at where the Dow and the NASDAQ have gone. So the Dow was at 47 up when we went on air. The live read right now is up 93.02 at exactly this very moment. The NASDAQ is currently up 64, so the NASDAQ has improved nicely additionally. Wow. So that's refreshing. 2023 is starting with a week in which we have this sort of weakness initially, and then we rebound a little bit later in the day. I love it, don't you? In the big second half, we'll go over the other details across the board. And one of the... you know why I'm laughing. You know what I looked at and I just started laughing about. It wasn't lobster shorts, I just saw something, and it wasn't the Dow, it wasn't the NASDAQ, it wasn't Tesla that's coming up later in this broadcast, it wasn't the ISM report, it wasn't the JOLTS report, it wasn't the minute rates, or the interest rate spikes, or Khashoggi's comments, it wasn't any of that. It was, Kevin McCarthy loses a fifth attempt to become Speaker of the House. Kevin McCarthy just lost the fifth attempt to become Speaker of the House. So I don't know, the question is, will 2024 stimulus checks still be around, or will Kevin McCarthy still be going for a House Speaker vote in 2024 as well? I don't know. Coming here from now, what will still be around? Stimulus checks or Kevin McCarthy still going for a House Speaker vote? I have no idea. In the big second half, we're going to go over, we're not going to go over Kevin McCarthy. That's one thing for sure. In the big second half, we're going to go over the latest details of what the market's enduring. And boy, is it fascinating. So yesterday we had a manufacturing report. You know I like manufacturing reports because it tells us if the economy is growing or whether the economy is shrinking. So what did we get yesterday and what did we get today? Yesterday we had the PMI manufacturing report, and minutes ago we got the beautiful ISM manufacturing report. Wow. Then we also got the jobs JOLTS number, which tees us up for Fed speeches tomorrow, and we had one Fed speech minutes ago. And then Friday, we have big jobs numbers, and Thursday, we have big jobs numbers as well. What a very, very big week this is turning out to be. And we're only just starting. I'll see you back in 60 seconds as this and more of the breaking news continues from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Wow, what a day it is. I'm excited you're here. It's a big broadcast. It really is today. I'll see you back in 60 seconds as this and more breaking news on your stimulus and your markets heats up today's afternoon's LALATE. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, where you don't have to vote on me, I'm still returning after the commercial break. Whether you voted against me or in favor of me, I will still be back after the commercial break. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. home, LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons, LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues in a big second half. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, one of the things we really learned well in 2022 is that when the Federal Reserve speaks, the markets generally react to whatever they say the day after, not the same day. So if, let's say this Thursday, the Federal Reserve has those speeches, the markets generally react on Friday, not on Thursday. Well, that actually just happened today as well. Why? Because we had the markets relatively flat to slightly up. You see where we were when we went on air, up 47, then we went up more. Well, right now we're up 46. So we went up a little bit more before the commercial break. After the commercial break, we're up 46. This is as the Federal Reserve spoke, so there was not much of a reaction to those Federal Reserve comments today, nor is there much of a reaction to Fed Governor Kashari's comments as well. But this may be a preview for tomorrow potentially being a major implosion of the markets. Let's go over the breaking details of the big second half. How are you doing? Hope you're having a beautiful day. If you just joined this channel, let me explain to you what goes on. The Federal Reserve is battling recessionary, inflationary, and employment concerns. The Federal Reserve has a dual mandate. There are a bunch of governors, and the Fed president is Jay Powell. Those Fed governors with Jay Powell as their leader, their job is a dual mandate: maximum employment and also maximum price stability, which is a fancy way of saying keep prices down, get rid of inflation, and then also keep most people employed. That's how they're established under the Charter Agreement. Now, the Federal Reserve since last year has been raising rates at FOMC meetings once per month, raising interest rates to get inflation down. And how high is inflation? I was the first person to say the Federal Reserve was wrong last year when they said, no, it wasn't even last year. Now it's 2 years ago. When I said that they had indicated that inflation was going to be temporary, transitory, for a little bit of peak and then coming back down by early 2022. I said, no, it's not going to go away for a long time. It's going to be a long time at 8%. I was right. Right today, it's at 8% still over a year later. Number two, I also said that raising those interest rate spikes every month at those FOMC meetings is not going to get inflation down that quickly. Well, it's been over a year, and it hasn't even moved. And they want inflation down to 2%. So they have said the same thing for over a year. That's what they're good about. They're good about consistency. Raising interest rates to get inflation down from 8% in December of, what year is this now? December of 2021 was when it started manifesting 8% to 2%, and now we've been doing this for over a year and hasn't even moved. So the Federal Reserve meets once a month, and they do those interest rate spikes, 75 or 50. But then a few weeks later, they release their minutes, their notes, basically their notes of what they said at that meeting. And those notes are very fundamental because it tells us really what went on. Was there some disagreement? And I have the minutes from the FOMC meeting, the last one, released minutes ago. What the Federal Reserve said in their latest minutes released this Wednesday from their December FOMC meeting was they see rate hikes, interest rate hikes for, quote, some time to come. So they're not stopping, and they see doing this for a long time. Is this a surprise? No. For the markets, it will be. For the Federal Reserve, it's not. For us, it's not. Because they've said they're going to do this as late as 2024, and they've used the expression sometime several times. So the expression sometime is not a new one either. The markets, perhaps, they've been listening a little bit more carefully, because the quote sometime is an old-time quote. And the markets are relatively flat. Now, based upon how the markets reacted last year, the markets may really implode tomorrow because they generally react the day after the Federal Reserve has something to say. Participants generally observe that a restricted policy stance of the Federal Reserve would need to be maintained until the incoming data provide more confidence that inflation was on a sustained downward path to 2%, which is likely to take some time. Wow, so there's a lot in that sentence. One of the things that I found in there that is slightly different, did you hear that carefully? Watch what's different in that sentence than what the Federal Reserve has said before. We need confidence that inflation was on a sustained downward path to 2%, which is likely to take some time. That's a little bit different. Did you notice the nuance there? They said they wanted inflation down at 2% and stay it there for some time. So 3.1, 3.001, 2.9, 2.5, and then 2.2. They wanted it at 2% for a long time, for a duration of time, which obviously was going to be a few months. Well, now the adverb has changed in the sentence. They want a sustained downward path to 2%, which is likely to take some time. Oh, whoa. So if you really want to be very careful of your wording, all they need to see a path to 2%, a downward path to 2% for some time. And I know what you're thinking right now. Well, what's a downward path to 2%? Is 4 to 3.9 to 3.8 to 3.7 enough and just stop? It could be, because that is a downward path to 2%. Or is it have to be 2.4, 2.3, 2.2 as a downward path to 2%? Or even more facetiously, if it's 7.9, 7.85, and 7.81, is that a downward path to 2%? It is, technically. So now we're sort of wondering, is this a pivot? Am I the only one saying this? I think I am. I'm not joking. I think I'm the only one has picked up that this adverb expression is different than Loretta Mester, different what Jay Powell, different what any of these governors have said in a very long time. They had said they want it down to 2% and stay at 2% for some time before stopping. Now they just need a downward path, which is like, we don't need to get to Oz. We just need to find the yellow brick road and be on that yellow brick road for some time, which could be, 12 skips of a song. Then that's enough. We can end the musical. It doesn't make any sense. But boy, is the Federal Reserve pivoting in those words? If you put me on broadcast media, I would say they are, because this is not the exact same expression they have used for over 2 years. We got them. Yeah, you see that, don't you? You'd see that. In view of the persistent and unexpected high-level inflation, several participants commented that the historical experience cautioned against prematurely loosening monetary policy. So that basically means don't stop rate hiking too early. It may not work. This is not new at all. So the minutes noted, however, that members expect the rates to remain up, and confident that inflation was on a sustained downward path to 2%, which is likely to take some time. Officials would like to focus on data that needs to have some flexibility and optionality regarding how to deal with this. Interesting. A number of participants see issues of weakening price stability goals or inflation if it was on a persistent downward path. How many times have we heard that expression, downward path, in today's notes? I mean, is that the third time? We have never heard this word, downward path, so obvious in Fed minutes until really today. I don't think anyone really picked up on that except you and I until this broadcast. Now, participants generally indicated the upside risk to the inflation outlook remained a key factor in shaping the outlook for policy. They were worried inflation would go higher. That's obviously true. We've been talking about the $12 eggs and eggflation on this channel. Participants are concerned that we need to have an appropriate indication of risk management if we don't have a clear path to 2%. Absolutely. So that's very clear as well. Wow. Now, in today's numbers, we had a lot of data. We not only had the Federal Reserve's minutes, we also had the JOLTS. The JOLTS, is that soda? No, it's not a soda. The JOLTS jobs number was released today, and what did it say? JOLTS jobs number, which is the job opening and labor turnover report, came in better than expected, signaling the labor market is actually stronger than initially thought. The ISM manufacturing report was also released today, and what did it show? It showed contraction in the sector after 30 months of expansion, but it showed generally that the situation was as expected. So manufacturing came in as expected, but it did show the first contraction after 30 months of expansion. If you watch yesterday's afternoon LATE broadcast or last night's evening show, then you understood that the PMI manufacturing report from Tuesday actually showed massive contraction. Worst drop of a manufacturing report on this channel since 2020, said the PMI report. Wow. Other breaking news we're dealing with today is the keeping of Khashoggi. I think this is fascinating. So the same time that the Fed minutes were released, almost like an hour before the minutes were released from the December meeting, we had a live interview. I didn't have it, but someone else did, with Khashoggi, who is one of the Fed governors. And what did he say? Minneapolis Federal Reserve President Neil Khashoggi says interest rate spikes for another percentage point would be it, and then it would be time to stop. Oh boy. So in a post by the Central District's website, Khashoggi says that he thinks that the Fed funds rate will rise to 5.4, and that will be it. It's currently about 4.25 to 4.5. He believes that his estimate is higher than the consensus of the Federal Reserve governors. And he said the following: once we see the full effects of tightening policy, then we can assess whether we need to go higher to simply remain at that peak level for a long time. Fascinating across the board. In other news we're dealing with today is the markets are really jittery. And very, very jittery, needless to say. We had some big performances today, and what were they? So travel once again outperformed the market. Travel rose dramatically today as Winstock once again up. Carnival once again up 7%. Norwegian once again up 3%. And Royal Caribbean up 4.9%. United Airlines 5%. Delta 4.5%. And Las Vegas Sands was up yesterday. So was Wynn. They were both up today as well. Las Vegas Sands is now trading the best low of that stock since 2021. You know, of course, that was coming out of the recession. Shares of Apple and Tesla have now slightly rebounded after really taking a massive loss yesterday. Apple's up 1% today, not a lot. Tesla's up 3.6% after falling 12% to a 52-week low yesterday. So Tesla just really took a massive bath yesterday, 12%. We had a double downgrade for Honeywell today from UBS from 220 to 193. Tesla got cut by RBC today to a price target of 186, ouch, from 225. And then Amazon and Apple. This is a big one. They have now lost a staggering $800 billion of market capitalization because they're down so much. Apple has lost $846 billion of its value. Amazon has lost $834 billion of its value. And Amazon's loss is so big, it equates to nearly 10 PayPal companies. Oh, boy. So there you go. What are we looking at for Thursday? So for Thursday, we are looking at a lot of data. More importantly, the long-term unemployment claims. We want to see if those long-term unemployment claims do go higher. Deeply troubling if it does. I don't think the new unemployment claims will be that bad. It'll probably hover at somewhere 230 to 211. But Friday is the big day. Friday is the big day. That is the unemployment rate released in the latest jobs report. The non-farm payroll number is a monthly number. The Thursday number is a weekly number. The Friday jobs report number has the unemployment rate in there. And boy, folks, if that unemployment rate goes one way, people say one thing. And if it goes another way, they'll say something else. What we don't say is wait. And we say pounce like a Purple Hawk. Go around this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Get those incredible stimulus checks right now. Go into that membership newsletter. It's at news.la.com/newsletter. And pounce. Get those incredible stimulus checks A to C right now. E to K. L to Q, like that brand new tablet and computer. And then if you're a small business owner, get that stimulus check R. If you are a fired W-2 employee, get that unemployment stimulus. Get that PBT checks. If you are one of those individuals as well, it's at news.la.com/newsletter. I'll see you tonight on Evenings LA in prime time with a lot of other breaking news from the shores of Santa Monica, California. God bless. Stay informed, stay focused. Always do the best you can do. Be positive, be focused, and pounce like a Purple Hawk. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.